Hi, my name is Marisol Alicea. I am from Washington, D.C. I am a sophomore at Benedictine College right now, and I was in RCMC in 2013-14 in Atlanta. This is a little video on forming an apostolic heart. I thought that the best way to go about it was to see the way that my heart was formed as an apostle. So I wanted to share a little story with you. When I was 10 years old was my first experience of Regnum Christi and my first real experience of Christ. I was 10 years old and I was on a retreat. I was sitting in the chapel and I was looking up at the tabernacle, and I remember that the priest during the homily was talking about how Jesus is your best friend. For me, it clicked because I understood that Jesus wanted to be my friend, and I felt like my heart set on fire. And I remember leaving that weekend thinking I didn't really know what it meant to be a Christian, and I didn't really know what it meant to be holy, but I knew what it meant to be a friend. I knew that I needed to talk to him every day, and I knew that I needed to tell him all my secrets, and I knew that this friendship was going to be something that changed my life. I think that is what made me have an apostolic heart. And so I have another story, a little follow-up. About a year later, I think I was in 6th grade, and the teacher told us to write a poem about our best friend. So I thought, it was kind of obvious for me, oh, I'll write about Jesus because Jesus is my best friend and Jesus is supposed to be our best friends. But also for me, I thought that was a normal thing. And I actually thought that I was late to the game, that everyone knew that, and I just had just discovered it. I also thought I was being super unoriginal and that everyone else was gonna write about their best friend. Mine was just gonna blend in with everyone's. I turned in this poem about Jesus being my best friend, and my teacher thought it was super beautiful, so she read it out loud to the class. And then all of my friends were oh, that's so sad. She doesn't have any real friends. So she wrote about Jesus. I was shocked because I thought everybody knew this. I had discovered something really amazing that had set my heart on fire. And the fact that my friends didn't know this bothered me. And I was I have to show them that Jesus wants to be their best friend. So I remember I was in a panic. It was a life crisis. I called up my consecrated and I told her the kids in my class don't know that Jesus wants to be their best friend. And she kind of laughed and she was okay, so how are you going to show them? Okay, how about I invite them on challenge retreats, because that's how you learn. She says, okay, yeah, you can do that. Or you can take them to the chapel during lunch. And I was oh yeah, that's a great idea. The next day I went up to some of my friends and it was lunchtime, and I said, guys, do you want to go to the chapel? And they were why? I think Jesus is waiting for us there. And I kind of explained to them what that meant for me, that Jesus is waiting for me there in the chapel and that I can go and talk to him for a little bit. And I kind of got this little team of girls going to the chapel for a while. But that was my first moment realizing that I had a mission, that I wanted to share with these people in my class the experience that I had had of Jesus. And that kind of continued on in my life. Now, I look at my friends in college and that's all that I want for them. I want them to see that Jesus is their best friend. So in terms of forming an apostolic heart, I'm just going to kind of break apart that story. It first involves a real encounter with Jesus. And then that relationship with Jesus needs to be fostered and accompanied. And then once that happens, that's kind of the biggest step, because hopefully, like me, their hearts will be set on fire and they'll want that for their friends. The third thing we need to do is show them the importance of mission. I think another really beautiful thing that has inspired me, hearing the story of Saint Jose Luis and really all the saints and all the martyrs, really is so motivating. Realizing that these people gave their entire life for the sake of changing the world. This is a matter of importance, and this is something incredible and that we have to do. And then I think a big thing is encouraging them to think big and accompanying them in that and not looking at them like they're crazy. I remember so well, we had a fire team when I was in 7th grade. We were sitting all together and the consecrated said, okay, what is it that we want to do? How do we want to really change the world? These were our ideas. One, we wanted to overthrow the White House and paint it pink. That was a big part. And we wanted it to be the ECYD clubhouse for the country because everyone was going to be an ECYD. Second, we wanted to have ECYD cookies, so kind of like Girl Scout cookies, but not supporting Planned Parenthood. We were very passionate about that. And so we'd have a factory of cookies and we would give all the money to the poor. Third, we were going to convert the Jonas Brothers and Hannah Montana and all the celebrities because they have a lot of followers. And I know it sounds hilarious. I look back and it's hilarious, but we were 100% serious, I think. And I think that so many times young people are too afraid of thinking big and they're too afraid of anything that's a little bit out of your imagination. So I think fostering that heart in our souls is something that's so important. Making them see that this is a matter of importance and making them not be afraid to think big. I think that's a big thing that I kind of have been formed well into, and I have this dream of converting Justin Bieber, and it's 100% serious. I know you all are giggling right now, but I'm 100% serious about it. The reason that I want to change culture so much is because when I was younger, I was convinced that I could change the world, and I still am. We can change the world for Jesus. That consecrated did not say, you guys are crazy, you're never going to overthrow the White House and paint it pink. But she didn't. She said, okay, and she literally wrote it down in her notebook. okay, this is one of our goals. How are we going to do that? And it didn't say this lofty idea. It said, okay, so if you really want to like overthrow the White House, first thing you need to do is like talk to your friends at school. These big dreams that we have, converting Justin Bieber starts with me sitting in my room and writing one letter. Okay, that's where it starts. It's a little thing, but it's like leading to a big thing. Anyway, that's my little piece of input. I hope that this was helpful. Have a really good week. I'm praying for you guys a lot.